Hello and welcome to another live stream. We are live from Morocco. I'm still in Morocco. This is my last day here. Hello, Hans. I leave early tomorrow morning. We had a great masterclass here. Yeah, it was really good. I'll share a little video. I posted this in the Facebook group. We'll see if it can play, if we have enough connection. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. We had wind almost every day. We had a really good group of windsurfers who gave it their all, which was, what more can I ask for? People showing up and doing the work. And that's what it takes. It takes showing up, doing the repetitions, being there. And yeah, we had a great group. I learned a lot. I always learn a lot during these weeks. It's one of the reasons that I like to do them. One of my takeaway lessons is that it's important to measure your success not on how many times you don't fall riding waves, but how many times you go for it. And extra points, extra success for when you go for it, when you feel like you don't want to. Now, that said, I don't mean put yourself in situations you can't commit to 100%. It's really important to commit 100%, whatever line you're taking. And that's what keeps you safe. It's a lot less safe if you don't commit. So that commitment is really awesome. Oh, we got Axel in the chat. Axel was on the masterclass. He was a lot of fun to windsurf with, as was everyone. It was a really good time. I'm exhausted at the moment, coming out of a windy week in the sun and sand, but we had a really good time. Jeff was there as well. Hello, Jeff. And yeah, now I'm packing up. I'm going to head home early tomorrow morning, back to Germany. If you want to join a masterclass, there's only one left in Europe this year, and that is in Denmark. You can sign up on windsurfingmasterclass.com. There should be a link to the class schedule, course schedule, and you can do it there. There's maybe a spot left. I have to go through it. I've been busy with the masterclass here. There might not be a spot left, but there might be one. So if you're interested, reach out, apply. We got Eric in the chat. Hello, Eric, and Matt. Matt was on a masterclass in Cape Town earlier this year. All right, I'm going to jump into the Facebook group. I'm going to try and go through this pretty quickly. But if you want me to slow down, spend more time on anything, just let me know, and I will. I got a little cat's come up to me. Huh. All right, so I'm going to get this loaded up. Sort by new. All right. Oh, new. I meant newest post. All right, here we go. All right. There's Eric. He's back from Pozo. This kind of light wind freestyle is really awesome. It looks like there's not much wind, and you might get to the beach and think, oh, it's not worth doing anything. But going out in conditions like this and doing exactly what Eric is doing, the sail body 360s, heli tacks, duck jibes, duck tacks, all of that stuff will really help develop your sail handling skills and your awareness of how the sail works through the eye of the wind, which is a really important awareness to develop. So great training. Are we going to see a duck tack? We're going to see a duck tack? Eric, you going to go for a duck tack? Duck tack? No. Whoa, yo, almost. Awesome. Love it. All right. Got flies. Lots of flies here in Morocco right now. Okay, so Fabian is having trouble getting his Ezzy Zetas to rig nicely. You should get them to rig so they feel really good. So if they feel unstable, something is going wrong. Can you post a photo of the sail rigged, looking up from the bottom of the sail to the top, with the sail lying flat on the ground? It sounds like maybe you don't have enough tension on the sail. The indicators that we put on the sail help to get you in the right zone, but you always have to go by feeling. Feeling is the king when it comes to rigging, whether it's an Ezzy sail or any other sail. You know, the marks on the sail are guides, and they help you get in the right range, but you're going to have to tune it yourself. With the Ezzy sails, we have the indicator on the bottom of the sail, which determines how much downhaul you need. And it makes it really easy to rig. But if someone has adjusted the vario top, then it's not going to be correct, and you have to recalibrate the sail. So be wary of that. If someone has adjusted the webbing on the top of the sail, on the head cap, then it's not going to be accurate. Also, if you're going off the numbers on your extension, those might not be accurate. So all extensions seem to have different numbers. They measure from different places. That's one reason we put a ruler on the tack strap on the Ezzy sails to help you get in the right zone. But for the calibrated rigging, you do not need to have a certain exact extension. As long as you have enough, it doesn't matter because it's going off the bottom of the mast. So it doesn't matter how much extension you have. And those are always guidelines. Always guidelines. Nick is looking to try upwind 360s on the wave after learning them on flat water. Ooh, Nick, I've got sorry news for you. Those moves are actually very different from each other. Now, the good news is that they support each other a little bit. So learning the upwind 360 on flat water does help you with the second part of the upwind 360 on the wave, but the first part is completely different. So if you're thinking about doing it like an upwind 360 on flat water, it's going to not work. You need to start going more downwind for one. So the upwind 360 on flat water, you're really throwing everything up into the wind. And on the wave, you're almost doing the opposite. Obviously, you're not going downwind, but you're going not straight up into the wind. It's really important that you get the bottom of the board so it's presented to the whitewater, almost like a little high five. It's not exactly a high five. Sometimes it kind of is, the board is more flat rather than a high five. But what you don't want, which if you're used to really going into the upwind 360s on flat waters, what you don't want is that heel rail dug in, because and then it's not going to slide. So you want the board flat or a little bit even on your toes. So when you're going into the upwind 360, you take off from your heels, but then you're quickly coming over onto your toes because otherwise the board's not going to spin. Does that make sense? And the other thing is, instead of throwing everything up forward like you do on an upwind 360 on flat water, you're actually throwing it back towards the tail. So you're throwing the sail towards the tail of the board and your body as well. And that's the trick. And then you hold that as long as you can. It will spin you upwind into the whitewater. The white will hit the bottom of the board and you'll rotate on top of the whitewater. Get some video. Show some video. Try some. Get some video. All right. I have not tested the hip harness yet. Welcome, Salvatore. Welcome. John asked if I'll doing any more online courses. Yes, I am hoping to get some online soon. Yes. Adrian has a question about the Severn 105. It's not a board I have experience with, but we got a lot of people with experience in the chat. So 23 comments. If you have a question like this, doesn't matter how specific it is, we've got so many people in this group who are happy and helpful. So it's a great question to ask, even if it's not a question directly for me. All right, we got some more work in the chat. Yeah, Nick, love to get some video. All right, we got Sammy. Hello, Sammy. All right, we got Steam for back loops. And so he's saying he doesn't rotate enough. He seems to look back initially, but stops looking back halfway through the rotation. That might be the main reason. Other than that, maybe more tucking in, extending the front leg. Other feedback. Yes, I have some feedback. So with the back loop, you want to think of it as two parts. The first part is going up, and the second part is going down. So when you're taking off from the wave, you actually don't want to be looking over your shoulder. So everyone talks about how looking over your shoulder is really important for the back loop spotting or landing, and it is. But the first part of the back loop, you don't want to be rotating. You want to be traveling straight up. And going from traveling straight up to looking over your shoulder is one of the things that helps initiate the rotation, right? So the two big things that I see here, one is you're not taking off upwind enough. And the second is that for the first part of the loop, you want to be looking up. And then once you are coming up to the top, you feel yourself slowing down. That's when you start rotating into the wind, looking over the shoulder, trying to see the spot where you're going to land. So don't look off over your shoulder off the wave. Instead, look up. And then once you're coming up to the top of the jump, then you're looking over your shoulder to push through the eye of the wind. And it's important. You need to take off more upwind as well. All right. I don't know if we talked this forward. I don't think we did. So this is from Eric in Pozo and wondering what to do next. And it's awesome. You're really on the right path, really solid. What did I say? I said more height, more push up the ramp. Yeah, so with more height, you would make that. You can do that with a bigger ramp or by really pushing off into a big X as you go off the ramp and then tucking up into a little ball. So small to tall to ball. And this is just the truth of it, more repetitions, just more repetitions and you'll get it because this is a nice horizontal rotation. Your technique is solid. Just got to do it more and a little bit more height will help as well. But good work. Awesome progress. I know this was a big goal for you. So really, really solid. All right. We got a few more people showing up in the chat so I can talk a little bit more. And then I am going to say adios, au revoir, and start packing. Well, actually, I have been packing, but I have more to pack. It's pretty amazing. So I packed 2 bags. I had a double board bag and a declined quiver bag. And I brought enough gear for 2 people. So the cameraman Marius is also using my gear. So it's 2 boards, sails from 3.7 to 5.0, 2 booms, masts, which I had an extra 370, which allows pretty much all of the consecutive sails to be rigged. So you can rig a 3.7 and a 4.2, you can rig a 4.2 and a 4.5, you can rig a 4.5 and a 4.7, or 4.7 and a 5.0. So we could always have 2 sails to sail together. And all of that I was able to fit in those 2 bags, and each bag was 23 kilos, which is pretty amazing. So we had all of that stuff, gear for 2 people in 2 bags, each under 23 kilos or less. So that's pretty awesome. I think I was pretty stoked on that. Hello, Steen. How's it going? We got Mark in the chat. Mark had 2 good sessions this week. Awesome. Ragnar scored 1 light wind small wave session. Cool. I'm glad you guys are getting wind. I'm coming off my windy, super windy week here. I feel like I need a little break from the wind. So if you want to have that experience where you're so blasted with wind and windsurfing that you need a little break, come join us in Morocco next year. Steen, we just talked about your back loop. I don't know if you caught it. Basically, the points are that you need to take off more upwind. So you're not taking upwind enough. And then the other, which is really a big key point, you want to think about going up and then rotating down. And so that means that you're not looking over your shoulder off the ramp. You want to be looking straight up so that you're traveling up. And then once you reach the top of the jump, the apex of the jump, so a little bit before then is when you'll feel it, you start looking over your shoulder, and that helps the rotation through the eye of the wind happen. You can think of it as going straight up. At the very top of the jump, you're rotating through the eye of the wind, and then coming down, you're just falling sort of in a straight line down again. It's really not a jump with a lot of rotation. Massimo, ciao, ciao. Massimo had a nice session in Sardinia. I want to check out Sardinia. Sardinia is on my bucket list. I want to get Capumano. That's one of the spots in Europe that I haven't got, and it's on my bucket list. Capumano and Lista, probably my two main bucket list spots. I'd also like to hit up Galicia. Yeah. All right, everyone. I am going to call it an evening. We'll do a little bit of a longer live stream next weekend. So if you've got a question that you've been waiting to post about when I'm back in Germany, I'll be able to talk quite a bit longer. So this week is the time to post. Get your questions, photos, videos. What have you been wondering? What is vexing you? It can be anything as complicated as a windsurfing maneuver like the tweak push loop, or as adjacent to windsurfing as fitness routines. We were talking about fitness routines on this masterclass, and I think it's important. I think if you're going to get the most out of your windsurfing life, it's important to be aware of your fitness and doing something in addition to windsurfing in a well thought out way. And that way you can get the most out of your body, the most out of your vacations, and the most out of the wind when it comes. All right, everyone, I am going to go back to packing and getting my stuff ready. We leave 4 in the morning tomorrow from Sidi Kauki, and then it's about a 3-hour drive to Marrakesh. And then I fly out of Marrakesh back to Hamburg through Vienna. The flights are really good. Hopefully next year as well. It was such a success this week. It was such a good masterclass week. We had such a good time. I would like to do it next year as well. So look out for that when we announce it. Maybe we'll do it a little bit earlier in the year, more like May, but let's see. All right, everyone, have a good week. I'll see you next week, Sunday. Bye-bye.